What's good, everybody? We are back. I have a special guest, no stranger to the channel, Miss Dom. How you doing today?
Oh, I'm fantastic, Tony. Thanks for having me. Happy Tuesday.
Absolutely. Right back at you. Happy Tuesdays. We got an interesting topic to dive into, and I don't think there's anyone more qualified to talk about this than Miss Dom. But before we get started, ladies and gentlemen, please like the video, share the video, hit the notification bell so you can be know when I'm dropping content and going live on the channel as well. Leave your thoughts in the section. Miss Dom, can you tell the people where they can find you and what you got going on?
You can find me at Sports Tea. That's the channel. Please like, subscribe to those videos and to the channel. And thank you to those who have already engaged with me over there.
Facts. Growing channel over there, Sports T, very good content. Miss Dom, let's get to this cooking, all right? Because we had a discussion uh, prior to this live about it. Interesting topic going on right now in the basketball world, and that is one Caitlin Clark. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be a little unconventional because there's no real slight to Caitlin Clark. I mean, I guess Ms. Dom is going to have a different opinion in that department, but I kind of wanted to dissect her fan base, Ms. Dom, and points she was making. But just off the top, what is the number one problem that you see with Caitlin Clark? Maybe I should say it's a twofold with her fans as well with her game.
So, if we're talking strictly basketball, I would say the problem with her game is that she struggles to create her own shots and she really struggles with the half court game. That's why we often see her get a high screen, very high, and she's shooting those logo shots. And I think that that's why she always shot from logo and continues to do so because she really it's harder for her to get a shot off past that point. Once the defense, once there's pressure defense, she's shown and she's proven that she struggles with that. So she needs uncontested shots. She needs screens constantly in order to get a shot. Without a screen, she's almost never shooting the ball. And she turns it over. So,
I
like I've
agree.
said this ad nauseum, that she is holding the record for turnovers, and I think that if there's a close game, you take a look at the turnovers, and there's where they might have been able to win that game. So, I know that her fans believe that the turnovers that she gets are her teammates' fault, which is the most ridiculous thing. I've actually never in my entire lifetime anybody else who was high turnovers in their career, whether it was John Stockton, even LeBron James. I have never heard a fan base blame the teammates for turnovers that somebody else recorded. It's just, I think her fan base is delusional. And quite frankly, I think that they don't really enjoy basketball. They're on platforms like Truth Social. They have stormed the Capitol. These are the kinds of fans that Caitlin Clark has. I don't think that they're really a part of the basketball community. I don't think they largely like any sports. Probably like NASCAR.
Maybe a little NFL. Yeah, that's about it. But
Perhaps, yeah.
I agree. Now, Caitlin Clark, for me, I think her game is exceptional. I do root for Caitlin Clark. I think that there is some kinks in her game, naturally, like it is anybody else's game. But I think that she's a work in development. She's
What's
a
the
rookie.
difference between her and LeBron James when they're bringing down the ball? Like what offense, how is the offense that she's running different from the way that LeBron runs his offense? Like what we just saw him do in the Olympics or what we just saw him do throughout his career, especially early in his career when he was just flying down the court, bum rushing the lane. Like, what's the difference really between what she does and what he does? Besides the fact that probably she's a better shooter, that, mind you, would refuse to participate in the 3-point contest in All-Star.
So my main difference is that I think that Caitlin Clark is actually a good basketball player, whereas LeBron James is an NFL player in basketball amongst basketball players. Caitlin Clark, and she actually does distribute the ball very well. I think she's a better passer a facilitator than she is a shooter. I think it would be better if her game was marketed as a pass first, kind of like what they did with LeBron James. The fact that they're
Oh,
trying.
you're gonna start that? You're gonna start that?
No, I mean just as far as she's
If
actually a
she's
pass first player. They're marketing her as some kind of shooter, like she's on Steph Curry
She
level.
is a shooter though. Do you know that if she moved to the 2 position, she would get those screens, she would be deserving of them,
Yes.
right? And they could, like she would probably make more shots if she wasn't responsible for handling the ball.
Yeah.
I believe that she is a shooter and not a distributor. If she was a real distributor, I don't think she'd be averaging almost 7 turnovers a game.
Yeah. Respectfully.
You
Well,
know, she can't, like her best game that she had where she was pretty much uncontested the whole game against Chicago. If you remember, she had 3 turnovers in that game, and that was a low turnover game for her, and she was uncontested. There was no defense on her really. She got whatever she wanted in the paint. Wherever she was, she could score the ball. There was no, I don't know what kind of defensive scheme that they were running that night, but it was open season for her. So she got whatever she wanted, still turned the ball over 3 times, and then the following game turned it over 7 times.
mhm.
And
I
it
think
didn't matter because they won. So let me be clear, turnovers don't really matter if you're winning the game, but if you're coming close to losing that game, or if you're coming close or if you're repeatedly losing, then you're going to look at reasons as to why, right? So for me, her turnovers matter a lot less because they're on a winning streak.
yeah.
Fever have been winning. I know that they lost to the Minnesota Lynx, which was quite frankly expected. I don't expect them to beat the Lynx. I don't expect them to beat the Aces. But for them to continue to beat the Mercury, for them to get that win before the break from, the Liberty, those were really good wins. For them to continue to beat the Storm the way that they've been beating them, again, really good wins that they're getting. So, believe it or not, when I watch Caitlin play, I do root for her. I root for her because I want her fans to be happy, and I want, the league to continue to grow with her growth. So I want her to improve her game because I think that it's going to help, not just women's sports, but particularly the WNBA. Obviously, we saw Simone Biles come out and watch her play, and she'd never been to a WNBA game in her whole life. So, things like that are really special for the sport. And, I think that women all over the world, we do appreciate Caitlin Clark. Again, I don't think she's the best female basketball player that I've ever seen.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say that. I don't think, yes, she's shooting like I've seen social media content where they show her shooting. Her range is she averages a range that's even greater than Steph Curry's range. That's great, but is she shooting at the same clip as Steph Curry? Is she making those shots? I think it's great when she is hitting her shots and her shots can fall. I think that's wonderful for the league. I think that's wonderful for their team. But I do think she's the 3rd best scorer on her team. And I think she has work to do in her game. She needs to take better care of the ball. She needs to pass better.
Yeah.
Her turnovers come from bad passing,
Very
not
much.
anything having to do with her teammates. So, she needs to pass them the ball in spots that they can catch it. And she needs to stop throwing those wild passes. They look cool. It looks cool when you do that. I mean, she reminds me of Pete Maravich.
Hey,
Pistol Pete was the same person. Her and Pistol Pete to me are the same. He also, I don't believe, ever won anything. So, you know, um, I like I think that she is an exceptional player. I just don't think that she is the best. And I do think that she is going to be the rookie of the year, and I think she deserves rookie of the year. Prior to the break, I had Angel Reese. I don't have Angel Reese anymore.
yeah, me too. I think that
They're
match,
just they're losing way too many games. I think they just lost the last 8 games that they played. It's pretty bad.
the last game that they had was pretty much the decider for me, and it's kind of a disadvantage because and Reese is on a team with no perimeter players outside, and I'm trying to be Lindsey Allen and Michaela Onyenway. But we don't have any perimeter, offense or defense, right now in Chicago, Sky. But
Nothing.
you make some good points. You made some great points, Ms. Dom.
That's the
I
other
say,
reason why I feel bad for Chicago and why I think Angel Reese is being like punished for not having a team.
yeah,
Caitlin Clark, not only does she have, two other all-stars on her team, she also has the number 2 pick in Alyssa Smith. She
hmm
also has firepower off the bench.
hmm
Her team is actually really good. Indiana Fever are really good, and they have an opportunity to go to the finals this year.
yeah, I think so. They got a low key super team. I keep saying that because compared
All
to
these people, so that's why I can't credit Caitlin Clark with their success 100% because they have a team and you can't win by yourself. And the season prior to this one, so 2 seasons ago, before Aaliyah Boston got there, Indiana Fever won 5 games. Last
mhm,
year, Aaliyah Boston gets there. She's drafted. She's has a rookie of the year. She was rookie of the year, right? She rookie of the year. She won that award. That was the season she had. And she took them from 5 games to 13 games. So do you
mhm,
mean to tell me that she wasn't a difference maker on that team?
facts. But
They went from 5 games to winning 13 games. And
I
now
think
they're probably going to land somewhere around 20 or 21 games.
I think Kelsey Mitchell was the leading scorer. Let me double check that. I was having a discussion about Caitlin
She
Clark.
was, but when Kelsey Mitchell, I believe that Kelsey Mitchell was there 2 years ago, was she not?
Yeah, Kelsey
So
Mitchell's been there her whole career, I believe.
exactly. So she led them to 5 wins the year before. Before Aaliyah Boston got there, they only won 5 games. And that
Mm,
doesn't mean that Kelsey Mitchell is not a difference maker on her team. It just means that every single year they added more pieces that help them win games.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
all that it means. They built their team. They had Alyssa Smith in 2021. When you get a player drafted that way, like they had 3 high draft picks. They had the number 2 draft pick, they had the number 1 draft pick, and they had another number 1 draft pick. So when you have 3 players that are damn near number 1 draft picks, why shouldn't you be doing better each year? The progress that the Fever made this year isn't only because of Caitlin Clark. All I'm saying is they've made incremental progress. If Caitlin Clark was the difference maker, then why aren't they at 30 games won?
hey, why are you back? Why are you in the seventh?
Why
Well,
didn't
they're
she
fifth seed
double
now.
the success? So Aaliyah Boston almost tripled the amount of games that they won.
Hmm
That's a difference maker. You get what I'm saying? In the
Very much so.
WNBA, you need bigs in order to win.
And I don't think their coaching is getting enough credit. I think this is Chrissy Side's first or second
Kristen
year.
Sides is a good coach. She's doing well.
Yeah, I like her a
She's
lot. I
not
like her,
all they've done is decide that she needs to be fired. The fans, Caitlin Clark fans have called for her firing over and over and over again.
which I think is crazy. I'm like, give her a chance, man.
Yeah.
That's the
They've
era
been
we.
asking for Cheryl Miller to coach the team. Won't get better with her,
The JJ Redick to
especially
the
if she's
WNBA.
going to let Caitlin Clark play this way. So when you need a
Well, Miss
high
Dom, I gotta
screen,
ask you.
oh yeah, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Cook.
Oh, I was just going to
What
say
were you?
that when you need a high screen to jumpstart your offense every single time, to me, that's not a winning formula.
Yeah, no, it definitely isn't. I mean, that's why when she doesn't get those picks, she get locked up. Her fans can't stand it.
Straight locked up. When anytime there's a one-on-one, like she's being guarded one-on-one, she has to run over defenders. The only way Caitlin Clark can beat, she has to literally run over her defenders. She can't beat them unless it's a 42-year-old in Diana Taurasi.
Facts. Or the Chicago Sky. We ain't got
Well,
nothing.
Chicago Sky had no perimeter defender in their last game. If Kennedy Carter was there, we all know what would have happened. She would have been very frustrated. She definitely wouldn't have dropped 31 on them.
Oh yeah, no, that's a fact.
She would have scored. They would have won the game. I believe the Fever is a better team. I believe Caitlin Clark is rookie of the year. I believe she's playing like rookie of the year. And I believe that her team is winning like she's rookie of the year. So she deserves the award. But I don't think that that means that we have to poo poo on the work that Angel Reese has done. She's also grown the league. She's had record breaking, she's had a record breaking rookie season. So I'm not like, I don't think that if you like Caitlin Clark, you have to hate Angel Reese or vice versa. You can respect both of these ladies' games. The Caitlin Clark fandom it's out of control. And it's mainly out of control because a lot of these fans, like I said, they don't watch basketball. These are the same people that are, that they should be in jail for storming the Capitol.
Oh yeah, they should be in jail for some of the stuff they saying online. Keep it a
I
buck.
know. I mean, it's online bullying. It's just really horrible what that fan base is doing to Angel Reese and just how they're going about it. It's really unfortunate. It makes me very sad that, this is what they're doing, especially what they're doing to Cheryl Swoops. It's just wrong.
Well, you took I was going to segue into that because I'm glad you cooked on Caitlin Clark. I had to give him, we had to give him a little appetizer this time, so because I feel like uh, what's going on with Cheryl Swoops right now, and we chopped it up a little bit behind the scenes. Stephen A. Smith piling on, Shannon Sharp piling on, Nancy Lieberman. Uh, I watched that. I watched that interview with Stephen A. and Nancy Lieberman from start to finish, and it was probably one of the nastiest interviews I've ever seen in my life. I mean, just total out of context. Uh, and Cheryl Swoops has already spoken for herself. Shout out to the Swoops. She said she don't work for the WNBA. You can't fire me if I don't work for you. But can you speak to that a little bit, Ms. Dom? As far as it's one thing
Yeah.
when me make a video and they come for us, but Cheryl Swoops is one of the stateswomen of the game. Actually laid down the foundation, and I feel like she's being highly disrespected. But what are your thoughts towards that?
Well, first I want to shout out Man Down. I see you over there in the comments. Thank you for watching and tuning in. And man, I mean, I couldn't agree with those comments, anymore. Like CC fan base has admitted to never watching women's basketball, and some saying they never watch any basketball until Caitlin. That tells me it's not about basketball at all. It's a toxic fan base for sure. Like, I, it's 100% correct. But just to get into what Cheryl Swoops said. I think, what she's trying to do is bring some balance to the coverage of the WNBA. She's trying to balance the fandom of Caitlin Clark with also highlighting, she wants to highlight the other women in the WNBA. That's what she wants to do. And I don't blame her for wanting to highlight those other women and use the fact that all of these eyes are on the sport to finally give other women in the sport some recognition. I think it's really important. I think that, she's also shielding Angel Reese from some, from some of the backlash that she's getting. She's showing that she supports Angel Reese, that all of this is really, just completely unnecessary. The kind of hate she's receiving, the commentary is just so racist. And people all over the world want to say that this isn't about race, but it absolutely is when, I don't know. I'm on Facebook, I'm on Instagram, and I see people making literal groups that are against Angel Reese.
Mm-hmm.
I see them making groups that, that literally talk about hating her, that, they might as well talk about hanging her at this point.
Yeah.
The hate for Angel Reese is like nothing that I've ever seen. And the most that I see about Caitlin Clark that's negative is that she's not the best player that we've ever seen.
Yeah. Fact. Did you see what
all that I've seen, the criticism about Caitlin Clark is about basketball. And the criticism about Angel Reese, it's just things that I have no idea what they're talking about. It has nothing to do with basketball. It's about her quote unquote attitude. It's about her hair, her eyelashes, how she wears her uniform, her, the leg sleeve she wears, the fact that her shorts are, shorter than Caitlin Clark's. The kind of criticism she receives is completely unnecessary. When she had a boyfriend, people were worried about that. I mean, she can't do anything right. If she shows up on the court, that's a problem. Her getting rebounds is a bad thing. I've never seen anything like that before. I've never seen somebody complain about somebody getting their own rebound.
Yeah, that's the wildest thing. VVS says if Cheryl wants to balance things, she should lie about, which we talked about that, and she's already corrected herself about that. She did make a mention of like Caitlin Clark being 24, having 5 years eligibility, which we all know came from the pandemic. You know, it's not like Caitlin Clark could have controlled that, but Cheryl Swoops has already redacted that statement and said that she got that wrong. Mel says it was good. They talked about women's hoops a bit. Cheryl was politically correct, but she spoke realness. Okay, I'm gonna check that out. Cheryl Swoops has an interview with Mark Jackson, and VVS says majority of functional minded CC fans don't act like that. They some basement dweller stuff. Oh yeah, that's a fact, VVS. Um, and I think you said this as well, Ms. Dom. As far as a lot of these people don't even watch the game of basketball, let alone they don't watch the WNBA. You know, so it's just a bunch of. I mean, that's the internet for you. You know, a lot of people got a lot of time and they don't do nothing with it but run
I
around
mean,
and
I appreciate that comment though, that majority of fans don't act like that.
yeah,
Her fans boycotted the Olympics.
yeah,
They tried to undercut the ratings for the Olympics. So we're saying the majority of the fans don't act like that, but yet they do. You know, you and I, as well as Man Down, like we follow, we're seeing the YouTube climate, we're seeing the podcast, you know, environment and climate surrounding Caitlin Clark. And there's so many channels dedicated to Angel Reese hate and Caitlin Clark fandom, and to the point of hateful Cheryl Swoops videos have been coming out. Cheryl Swoops needs to die. I've seen that. That is, these things are all over the place.
that's very sad, man. I mean, it get to a point. I've never been that emotionally involved in sports where it's like I can't stay. Even with LeBron, you know, once I turn off the internet, I don't think about LeBron no more. But it's going too far with some of these people, and this is kind of a PSA to the Caitlin Clark fans, man. If y'all see this video, just chill, man. Just chill. It's got to be something else better going on in your life. Mel says, BBS, that's not true. It's more toxic CC fans than logical ones. I concur that. VVS says my thing is people were not going to watch women's basketball Olympics regardless, so CC fans were already not watching. What do you say to that, Dia?
Sorry, what I say is that they did watch. 10 million people watched the Olympics.
Yeah, I watched
So
it.
10 million people watch the women play, and people watch women's basketball every day. They were watching before Caitlin Clark got there. They started growing the league over the last 3 or 4 years, primarily when Asia Wilson got there, actually. But people don't know these things. Even like there's a narrative that only Caitlin Clark was selling out arenas. That also wasn't true. Do you know how hard it is to get Las Vegas Aces tickets? Very, very difficult. And they're oftentimes sold out. Their arenas are too small. So what, you know, again, marketing dollars, you have to spend money in order to make money. And
Mm-hmm.
so the WNBA has never been marketed the right way. It was a, by the way, it was a charity from the NBA. So the NBA was never willing to spend the marketing dollars on the WNBA and market the players that were actually doing well. You know, then there's another narrative that all of, you know, sex sells. So all of the WNBA players were ugly and gay. So, you know, people who consume sports like men didn't want to watch them. Also, another not true statement. So, you know, there are like, what about Kelsey Plum? How many years have she been in the league? She was married to an NFL player. She was ugly. What about Cameron Brink? She looks way better than Caitlin Clark.
Hey, thanks.
It's about Caitlin Clark, the fandom, and you know, they're seeing a woman from middle America come out, and she was shooting the lights out the gym. I mean, she was shooting like Steph Curry in college. We saw what happened in college when defense was allowed to be played, right? We saw when anybody's allowed to guard Caitlin Clark, we see how she kind of crumbles under that pressure. And she's a good player. I think she's great. I think she's exciting to watch. I think when she's hitting those logo threes, it's amazing for fans to see and for people to see. That's not really the culture of women's basketball. And I'm not saying that there's not going to be a new way forward. I'm not saying that the game is not going to change to be a little bit more free flowing and less physical, you know, physicality in the league. They're clearly moving in that direction. But the bottom line is that her fans are out of control and something needs to happen. And I think that people are saying, oh, well, Caitlyn never says anything. That's a big thing that people say. Oh, Caitlyn never says anything. She doesn't want to be involved, blah, blah, blah. When you see racism happening, xenophobia, whatever you want to call it, and, just hate, you should speak out against that. And she was called out. Dejanay Carrington called her out a couple months ago, saying that, for you to sit quietly and silently while these things are going on, against players in the league that you play for, that's where you become complicit. That's where you become someone who, is a part of the problem, and Caitlin Clark, she briefly addressed that. She didn't address Dejanay Carrington specifically, but she did come out and, and sort of shun racism and hate speech. She didn't do it on a grand stage or anything like that, but I think that it was something that she needed to do because there's a point where you become complicit in these things.
I agree. Dejanay called her out last week. Did you see that when they played against the Sun?
What did she say last week? She's going to call her out every time, every so often, I think. Yeah.
That's why I love Dejanay, man. She ain't PC. She keeps it
I
a
love
buck.
her too, but she keeps it real. When you're seeing people when Caitlin Clark found out the report that there were Clark fans waiting for Angel Reese in the Chicago sky outside of that bus, that was a perfect opportunity for her to speak out. She has some prime, opportunities to speak out against these things, and she hasn't and she doesn't. So that's where I think that she's complicit. And that's where I think people, even if they don't love Caitlin, or let's say they don't like her, or I'm sorry, let me say this. Let's say people don't hate Caitlin, but they don't love her because of that, in my opinion, because she lets these things happen as well. And she can't control anybody. No, I'm not sitting here saying that the hate that Angel Reese is getting is her fault. It's just that when there's moments where there's an opportunity for her to speak out, and I just think that she should.
Mail said Stephen A. Smith and Shannon did a childish victory lap on TV trying to push buttons because CC had a great game. It's unreal facts. That's the I watched the women's Olympic team. I also watched a lot of pro CC channels panic on their lives when the ratings were good because they were afraid the boycott wasn't working. Facts.
Literally.
Is Asia Wilson marketable, DA? And if so, how should she be marketed?
Of course she's marketable.
I think so, yeah.
She should be marketed the same way that Clark is marketed. The same exact way. They both have Nike contracts. They both are actually, Asia Wilson is by far and away the best player in the league. And she has been over the last, 6 seasons or however long she's been in the league. It's not really close. And yet it's, taking her, if they would just put those marketing dollars behind the real talent in the league, imagine where it could go.
Oh, yeah, I agree. And to Mel's point, I think we were talking about a little bit about Stephen A. and Shannon's behavior. Ms. Dom, you want to bomb on them?
It's disgusting. So I am completely disgusted by Stephen A. Smith as well as Shannon Sharpe. I never was a huge fan of Shannon Sharpe just because of the way that he would passionately, advocate for LeBron like he was his lawyer or maybe even his wife. I don't know. But he really made me sick with his behavior about Caitlin Clark. It's not people want to talk about Cheryl Swoops, please, that she's somehow being unprofessional. That's what they said about her, that she was unprofessional just because she didn't mention Caitlin Clark. Not because she disrespected Caitlin Clark or said something bad about her, but it's because she didn't mention her. But yet Nancy Lieberman, Stephen A. is allowed to bring Nancy Lieberman on his show. A woman, this is the same woman that said that she would punch Kennedy Carter in her face. When Kennedy Carter hip checked Caitlin in that game, Nancy Lieberman said, if that were me, I would have punched her in her face. Really, Nancy? You were never like that.
Facts.
You were never like that. There's no story where you punched another woman in the face during a game.
Facts.
So make me understand how you're like that. You would have punched somebody in the face. Who? Which defender would you have punched in the face for hip checking you during a game?
I'll pay to see it. Run up on the Rika.
So not only did you say something that you would have never did, you wanted to have a hot take, and now Stephen A is bringing you on the show because you're of a certain demographic. Okay, because she's of a certain, she looks a certain way. He brought her on the show because he already put himself in a box of being against the other players in the WA, basically all of the black players. So Stephen A is essentially against everybody except Caitlin Clark. And he put himself in that corner when he decided to be arguing with Monica McNutt on his show.
Mm-hmm.
So about her opinion, mind you, nobody's allowed to give an opinion other than what Stephen A wants to project on his show. She gave an alternate opinion and he got very upset and defensive. Him and Shannon Sharp yelling and screaming. You should have seen the veins popping out of Shannon's neck. And even now, like, they're perpetuating bullying and online hate.
Mm-hmm.
LeBron James is a part of it himself. He came out tweeting, "Oh, wow, Caitlin. Hi, haters."
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Stoking the flame.
Who are you saying that to, LeBron? Who's Caitlin's haters?
Mel said Paige Backer's SB speech was prophetic. I didn't see it, big bro. Who's did she win one? I can't recall. I know she.
I don't think that Paige Bucher's speech was prophetic. I think that was what was happening in real time back then. They were only talking about Caitlin Clark when she was in college. So back in the NCAA, that was the only player that they were talking about and cared about. Even though these other women had NIL deals and so forth. I mean, and Paige Bucher, she was talking about herself. She didn't feel like she should have gotten that award. She didn't feel like she should have been recognized, that there are so many players in that league that deserved it. So to me, like, it's been going on for a while where the media, a league, they're looking for a great white hype. And this is just really nothing new. This is totally nothing new. Going back to the 60s, the NBA didn't like how many black people were in the league. They wanted to inject foreign nationals into the league, Europeans. That's why they started that injection, because they didn't think that black players were marketable. So this is a mindset that the NBA has had for years. And who owns the WNBA? The NBA. So they're looking for someone white. They're looking for someone, either, middle America white, like Caitlin Clark. This is what they think is marketable and they can grow the league. They've never thought that black people were marketable, going all the way back into the 60s. And they've had this irrational fear that black people aren't marketable, when really people, it doesn't matter what race we are. People come together for sports. Amen. And that's why we've been, the best athletes in the world, essentially, because, if you're good, you're marketable.
Yep. We love the best of the best. VVS says people don't want to hear politics. It is what it is. I think it is a mark of the generation. Unfortunately, Ms. D, I know you're around my age, and we come from a time where you agreed to disagree and you kept it pimping. All right, let's go get a drink after this. I don't. Nowadays, if you ain't in lockstep with people, they got to tear you down, and it's kind of sad. The times we living in. Because Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark, respectfully, are impacting the game. I think Angel Reese is bringing eyeballs to the game, just like Caitlin Clark is. People don't want to hear politics. It's something said when people don't want a spotlight on something that's being done wrong. What do you say to that, Ms. DA?
It's really true. I mean, and look at what Cheryl Swoops is trying to do. People are trying to mute her voice. People are trying to make sure that she doesn't have a platform to shine a light on other women that need recognition as well. And it's messed up because, these other women deserve it. We're talking about Caitlin Clark right now, and who's actually the best player on her team? Who's actually having that MVP season? It's Kelsey Mitchell. She is having the MVP season on her team, and we're putting Caitlin Clark in the MVP conversation.
I wanted to just segue. What's good, big bro? How you doing, man? We got Wild Card Mar on the screen.
What's happening? Dominique, pleasure to see you again, bro.
Hey, Lamar, how's it going?
Man, I just finished up a podcast just a minute ago. So you know me, I got more podcasts than the Jamaican got jobs. So I stay on it.
Always working. I
You
love
got
it.
you got more podcasts than Lil Wayne got mixtapes, brother. I mean, he looking up like some. He doing food over here. He doing real life topics over here. Hey,
You gotta understand, man. When they come, when whoever with the big old check comes calling me for all my content, I say, "You sure you want all of it?"
you got
Well,
time.
take us with you. Don't
Yeah. Oh no.
forget to take us all with you on your way to the top, okay?
It's so many people that that's coming with me, but no, y'all over there, man, down gonna be there before us. So yeah, man, y'all killing it over there. As I was listening to the conversation before I hopped on, and it's funny that y'all talking about this because I was talking. I spent 5 minutes on the late night owl show last night, and I made it a point to make sure that the people who Caitlin Clark stands, you don't give a damn about the WNBA, but you love the shit out of Caitlin Clark. That's fine that you love Caitlin Clark, but let's not come in, open up your mouths, and start moving your Twitter fingers on shit that you absolutely have no idea what the hell you're talking about.
Okay.
I'm sick of it. I am absolutely thoroughly disgusted with people's behavior who just absolutely just adore Caitlin Clark and just want to forget about the rest of these women before her playing with her on the same team as her. That they will bust her ass, and I'm just being real about the situation. And so it's the rhetoric around Caitlin Clark is getting disgusting, and I'm just like, y'all killing my joy of the. I have been a fan of the WNBA since its inception 27 years ago. And y'all are really pissing on it, and it's getting crazy. And the rhetoric is almost like it's listen to this debate between Kamala and Trump. It's getting that disgusting. It really is.
It's that nasty, but also it's literally the same thing going on right now with the whole Ant-Man versus the battle of the eras. You know what I mean? People like they want to literally erase 75 years of basketball in the NBA just because these players cannot live up to the standard of greatness that we're used to.
Yeah.
So when you can't actually surpass a player, you need to deflect. And that's the same thing that's happening right now in the WNBA. It's just a little worse because there's this racial element to it, whereas that's not really there in the NBA right now because most of the really great players are black still.
Yeah.
There's not like besides the foreign NBA players, there's no like white American guy crushing it, and in the minds of most of America, white men still can't jump.
And
You know what I mean? And
they're
that's
using
still,
Caitlin as the great white hype, and they're
period. The great
working.
straight white hype, because you got to remember there's so many white players in like Breonna Stewart. She's married to a woman, right? Diana Taurasi, she looks like a middle-aged man out there. So does Brittany Griner. So like, they're like seriously though, it's just what we're saying. Like Cameron Brink, she's a little too close to black people for middle America to like her, even though I think she's got a fiance or something like that. There are plenty. There's Sophie Cunningham. Is she a little too cozy with black people for middle America? Like Caitlin Clark is not even the only straight white girl. It's just she's so aligned with white culture and middle America culture. Like I think she's a country music fan. I saw her, I believe, at like a country concert, looking very just, like regular and super white, looking like somebody that would potentially storm the Capitol. So she relates to her fan base in a way. I don't think she is like them at all. I don't think she's to blame for them.
It's comments like this. It's comments like this. CC is on MJ Tiger levels. He has comments like this. This is really starting to piss me the fuck off, and I'm just being so real.
MJ came in. What did he average that year? Almost 30 points a game in his rookie season. I think he averaged 28. He was rookie of the year by far. He came out and balled immediately. There was no question as to whether or not Michael Jordan was going to be the face of the league.
We're not doing this, bro.
But now she's on Tiger Woods level.
Tiger Woods and MJ level. This is what
But
we
let's
do.
let's be clear though, she's a phenomenon. We can't sit here and say that Caitlin Clark is not a phenom, because she is. It's just her talent is not phenomenal. That's not what's the phenom portion of it.
I'm glad you brought that up, Dom, because
Fandom.
that's the thing. We real basketball analysts or people who can talk real basketball, they've never doubted her ability to play basketball. It's the fact that people who've never watched a WNBA game before just now got into women's basketball 2 years ago because of Caitlin Clark and the Angel Reese situation. Just got into it. So you're trying to act like your opinion is gospel when you have no idea what the hell you're talking about. It's okay if
Exactly.
you love Caitlin Clark. It's fine. I think she's a great player. I've said it coming into the season. It's going to be a minute for her. She is going to struggle because this is a different game. This ain't Big Ten. This ain't NCAA. There's going to be a learning curve. There was. She had to deal with it. Luckily for her, she took her time off from the Olympics and she came out balling for the last few weeks. Good for her. But it took her a minute for her to finally come around the learning curve, get the shit right, and the results are there now. It ain't been consistent all season. Let's be 100%.
But she also hasn't changed her game.
Yeah.
The league is changing for Caitlin Clark. I don't know if you guys are like really watching these games and seeing the fact that like that pressure defense is not on her like that anymore. They're not pressuring her the way that they were. They're not face guarding her the way that they were. Dejanay is. That's about it.
No, you know why. You know why.
Well, the league, they're making it that nobody's allowed to guard Caitlin Clark. So I'm not saying she can't shoot the ball. I'm not saying she's not a professional. Yeah.
You had them young girls at 9-year-olds. Dear WNBA, you're so mean to Caitlin. And they wrote them letters and they sent them to the front office, and the damn commissioner of the WNBA said, well, we can't mess up our cash cap. Y'all need to back up off my baby. Back up off my baby.
Exactly. I mean, look, you have Stephen A and Shannon Sharp screaming into their scream, let her cook. Let her. Saying that we're all hating on her. We're jealous. We're petty. We're jealous, petty, angry. There was one guy, Mel talked about it on one of his episodes. He mentioned, somebody from Outkick. Outkick. They were saying that Dawn Staley and her group of angry lesbians were bullying Caitlin Clark. Okay. That's how these women are referred to, you know? They're not referred to as ballers. They're not referred to professional, WNBA players. They're referred to as angry lesbians.
That's wild.
And I don't know what that has to do with anything. Like, just get out there and play the game, And Caitlin, unfortunately, she's still averaging the same amount of turnovers. I don't see how her game has actually changed. What I see is that there's a lot less defense happening. That's what I see. I see that no one's allowed to guard her. She's frequently going to the free throw line. That's what I see.
I'm right there.
I was going to say this, though, Ms. Dom. Maybe the last game was an anomaly, but JC
Sheldon was all over CC last game. That's one person. She was being doubled and triple teamed at one point every game. Yeah. She couldn't get up the court without a double team.
Yeah, I respect that.
Because they was teaching her a lesson. You ain't just going to come up in here and think you just going to overtake this game. That was the learning curve.
They almost lost that game. So the last game Caitlin played, they almost lost. And of course, in my opinion, anytime she's going to have a close game, the whistles are going to go in their favor. The refs are going to decide, not their actual play. In order for teams to beat Caitlin Clark, they have to blow her out from the first quarter and beyond, or at least come out in the second half, blowing her out in third quarter. Because if they don't, these refs will decide. That's what South Carolina have to do. If you didn't notice, they were the Iowa team was being favored the entire first half. Dawn Staley made an adjustment in the second half to put Johnson on Caitlin Clark. She locked her ass up. They did not double team her. She just locked her up the whole second half. Caitlin Clark was held to 7 points for the entire half. And she made that one adjustment, and they were able to start blowing them out. They should have won that game by 20 points. But they only won, I think, by 11 points. But you have to beat Caitlin by 10 plus in order for the game to go your way, because the refs will steal it. That's just how it is.
Hey, still an agenda behind that shit. Still, I mean, we just got to call a spade a spade. There's still an agenda when it comes, and people who and they love Caitlin, they're not going to agree with us, and that's fine. I'm totally fine with that. But don't be naive. Don't think that there's not an agenda behind some of the success that Caitlin is having. So
I think the only way the Indiana Fever lose is if Kelsey Mitchell don't show up. All right. If KM don't show up, then it's an L for sure. Because Shorty averaging 30 points a game. And we could talk about CC this and CC that. But in the fourth quarter, they run every play for Kelsey Mitchell. And then Caitlin Clark will hit him with a 3 out of nowhere.
hey,
do the LeBron thing, step.
Bro, let's just keep it a buck. Take Kelsey Mitchell off that team that Indiana Fever is bringing up the rear in the standings right now. They'll bring up the rear in the standings. They'll be one of the bottom feeding teams for real.
Oh, yeah. Atlanta Green.
Like,
I agree.
So it obviously they're gonna give the shine to Caitlin, but the real that recognize real, they know the real Clark Kent that's on the Indiana Fever. They know the real, and this fourth quarter comes, she gotta go in that phone booth, put that cape on. We know what's up. We know what's good.
I was gonna say Miss Dom. Miss Dom was only visiting us for a limited time tonight. Wanted her expertise opinion on this whole Cheryl Swoop situation. But Miss Dom, I know you had to cut out. Do you want to let the people know where they can find you?
Oh my gosh, guys, you can find me on Sports T. Please come visit me over there. Subscribe to the channel, like some of my videos. I'll be pushing out some more content for you all this week. Really nice to be here. Thank you, Tony, for having me. So blessed to share a screen with you, Wildcard Mart. And I hope you guys have a wonderful night.
Always a pleasure with you, Miss Dominique. Always a pleasure.
Nice to see you guys. I'll see you next week, Tony.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Miss Dom. Have a good night.
Later. You too. Bye-bye.
Yeah, they got to make sure.
This is a man. This is a man.
Y'all make sure y'all tap in with Miss Dominique's content, man. Don't man, you talking about knows her shit. She knows the stuff. And then of course, make sure y'all tap in with Man Down. She be over there with Man Down and Mel and all them. They be having a great time. So yeah, man. This whole Cheryl Swoop situation is crazy, bro. So I just think I don't know why people are so against on what she's saying. She is a basketball legend. How do you disrespect a woman, and especially when it comes to WNBA, which is the subject about, right? How do you try to discredit her opinion on the matter? She's been there, she's done it. You don't think her opinion matters or carries any cachet? We talking about Cheryl Swoops.
Mel say Kelsey Mitchell is the Kyrie Irving for Caitlin Clark, an automatic bucket that makes the Luka, LeBron, Caitlin offense look good. Hey, that's a good point. But when Kyrie or Kelsey miss shots, they will be blamed like Kyrie was. That's a fact. And while it was a 17-year-old that shot personal. Oh, yeah. You hear about that more?
Yeah, that situation crazy right there, man. As a guy I am pro Second Amendment. I practice it, but I do it safely. Make sure that I'm legally licensed to carry. I've done all the training. I've done all the bells and whistles that it takes to be a registered gun on it. But my number one rule is don't pull it out unless you're ready to use it. That's number one rule.
And again,
And if you're not in no situation that causes for it, and I think that's what it is. I think people need to recalibrate on the reasons to pull it out. It's not for show. It's not for to be stunting on the gram. It's not for, it's not play. It's not a game. I am a legal license carrier just for the fact that I need to make sure I get home to my family. That's it.
say it again. Yeah.
And I need to make sure that when I'm with my family that they are safe. That's the only reason why I got it. And if there's no real true threat, there's no need for it. And it's a sad situation. I'm glad Pearsall's safe, alive.
Yeah. Amen.
Most of all, he gets to heal up and probably in a few more weeks, he gets the opportunity to live out the dream that he's worked his ass off for, which is to play NFL football. So I don't know how he feels about, being a spiritual person, but he should be definitely thanking the person that he believes in for sure, because that situation could have ended bad, man. Crazy. We talk about how sports and societies are parallel. There's some things that shouldn't, and this is one of them. Like I said, I obviously this is a sports podcast. I don't want to get too deep off into the societal part of this situation where, I don't know the answer of, gun control and laws. And I don't know. I don't have the answer for that. But one thing I know, I just think our society, at some point, we just got to hit a reset on how we operate in the whole. And especially when it comes to just common things, just being decent human beings. If we can start right there, hopefully situations like that won't happen again. So,
yeah, well, big bro, I hate to cook on it like this, but being from Chicago and living in Texas, two different worlds. One's hella left, one's hella right. You can't buy a gun in Chicago. In fact, with all of the gun violence that goes on in Chicago, you would be surprised that you can't buy a legal firearm there. You can't go
or how easy the access is.
Well, that comes from these little ignorant dudes. They be hitting up the trains, all that kind of stuff. But what it comes down to, the only way you're gonna solve this problem, and this is something I learned in Texas, is everybody got to be strapped, man. You know what I mean? I got robbed at least 4 times in Chicago, and it was just because I was in a situation unprepared. In Texas, when I learned that everybody got one, never got robbed. And the crime in the little neighborhood that I was in was non-existent, because you have that understanding. If I break into this house or if I run up on this person, it could be my D-Day just as easy. But in a situation like that, of course, there's really no resolution for stupidity. There's no resolution for evil, and good things happen, bad things happen to good people. He's just thankful that the young man was able to get out of that situation, and like you said, big bro, one day he'll be fulfilling his dreams. But at the same time, a 17-year-old kid running up on you, man, there's no resolution for that. You just gotta hope for the best, because everybody wasn't raised the same. That's something I'm noticing now with kids,
I think that's your answer right there. Not to get too deep off into it, is parenting, man.
Amen.
Parents got to be parents, and you got to find a way to find that balance where you want your kids to come to you, talk to you about life lessons, questions that they got, how to come up with solutions for certain situations. Yeah, cool, but it's I just think we gotten so far away from parents being parents.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, and shout out to my baby brother right here. This is Najee, my baby bro. You ain't never lie. You better stay straight. That's how we moved in Texas, man. You know what I mean? And really, baby brother really taught me. Hey, don't be slipping on your pimping, baby. Keep a big bag, a little purse, something with you. Because these
Nah,
idiots.
hey, bro. When I say I'm never, never far away from in reach of nothing,
Yeah.
I'm being like dead ass serious. I'm leaning right now.
Poles. What the
I,
kids say, sticks.
hey, I'm never too far. So it's not out of fear. It's just being prepared for the unpredictable
Yeah.
of what happens in this world, because this wasn't the same world I grew up in, where you didn't have this unpredictability factor that you gotta worry about. I mean, we got cats. You can go to church, getting killed in church, cats getting killed in a mosque, in a hospital, in a school,
Mhm.
at your home, shopping, at a Walmart, in a movie theater. So where are we supposed to be safe at?
Mhm.
So I mean, until they got the sign on the door that say no strap, then depending on if a gut feeling, I still ignore that thing sometimes. I ain't even-
Yeah, that ain't for me. I ain't even see it. Sorry.
That's for y'all. But nah, man. Yeah, man. What sucks about this situation is the 17-year-old dude. He's messing up his life. For what?
Yeah, yeah.
So it's
My bad,
crazy.
bro. I still
Now,
carry it. Sure.
hey, no cap, Najee. I didn't see that sign half the
Yeah.
time.
I seen a lot today. Didn't see that sign. And there's the thing, though. You got to have your good guys. The good guys got to be ready for war because the bad guys are always going to be ready. So
Yeah.
that didn't.
I've always said this to wifey: make sure you keep money to the side. Just make sure you keep the bail ready, because
Yeah.
I'll deal with the gun laws and the situation and the legal side later. I need to make sure that I'm safe and my family's safe. I worry about the repercussions of the legal system later. It is what it is.
Say it again, big bro. I'm about to shoot my wife a text. Make sure you put a little.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Hey,
yeah, for real. Just whether it's $5, $10, just make sure you always put something to the side. Don't touch it. Just let it sit there. It's called the just in case fund. Just in case the daddy got a bang bang. So just it's the just in case fund.
but definitely, shout out to that young man. Glad he still on his two, and again, he'll be fulfilling his dreams in due time. But big bro, I don't know if you caught it. I know you was doing another pod before you pulled up.
Mhm.
I visited our brothers over there at the Bottom Line Sports. Shout out to Flo and
Yeah.
Canteen, Sports Professor, Hot Take. We did a fantasy football draft. And I know you got the IOWs football draft. I know you in a couple. You got to be in a couple leagues.
Yeah, I'm in a couple of fantasy leagues. We normally do the football pick'em weekly game, IOW, but I didn't get a chance to set it up this year, so I'll bring it back next year. But yeah, man, I did one draft already. I think I got two more I gotta do before the season starts. So we'll see what happens with those two.
Well, let me ask you, who was you got a unanimous first pick? The guy that you definitely would try to get in on all your teams?
Oh man, this was tough because I think it should be CMC. But what's scaring me about CMC is that man got the Madden cover, and he's the wrong guy to give the Madden cover to.
Facts.
Just because if you trying to prove if this Madden curse is for real or not. Now, I don't want to put it on this guy because uh, although he's managed to stay relatively healthy for San Francisco, he still he was having some trouble in Carolina. So I ain't trying to put this theory to test with this guy, but if so, that he's okay, and the Madden curse might be a anomaly for other folks, and he might break the curse. Just because CMC is so dangerous on I think he's the engine to that offense in San Francisco. I think he opens it up for everybody else. Obviously, he affects the running game. Dynamic runner. He can run outside zone, inside zone, pretty much. You know, and of course, uh, as of today, the 49ers finally got smart and said, Trent Williams, man, get your ass in here, bro. We need you. So
Yeah.
that helps out too. And then you look at how he affects the passing game. You're talking about dynamic pass catching a running back, jack of all trades. He gets that offense going, man. Is he's very spark plug, I should say. Because there's times where I love Debo, but there's sometimes you can take him out the game and game plan him out.
Mhm.
Brandon Ayuk just got paid as well. I think he's a phenomenal wide receiver. Number one, if he wasn't on San Francisco, he probably could be a number one somewhere else. Um, Kittle still a dangerous tight end. Juszczyk, their fullback, who they kind of use him similar to Christian McCaffrey, but not to the production wise or usage rate. But he's actually a nice pass catching fullback and short yardage. They're gonna if he needs to get a yardage, so they'll ask him to do that instead of putting more strain on Christian's body. But they got multiple weapons on that offense in San Francisco, but CMC really kicks it off. So fantasy wise, yeah, I think he's the can't miss guy. Last year was Justin Jefferson, and I went with him, and then he ended up missing about 7 games. So I wouldn't be mad if somebody said Justin Jefferson. But yeah, I'm gonna still stick with CMC as your number one can't miss fantasy guy.
I like that. I like that. It's gonna shock you what I got.
It might not.
Yo QB.
Hmm.
I think you got to pick up Mahomes, man. And I had a draft today on TBL. It's documented. I prophesied it. I'm like, this is gonna be the pick. Everybody says get your QB later on because it's real no different in margin. Nah. I think Mahomes is surefire, and especially those games. Say the Chiefs, y'all play on a Monday night. You in that tight 180. The other guy probably got 181, and you really need your guy to come through for you. I think Mahomes is a must take. So I took him in 2 drafts as my first round. TBL thought I was crazy, and not only that, it's just the stigma behind the QBs. You don't take a QB early. I think Mahomes is not just a quarterback. This is the face of the NFL. He got the referees behind him. y'all got the them Kansas City refs gonna do me good this year.
Man, it's so crazy. I was telling my cousin earlier. I was like, "Yo, I thought I would never see the day that I feel like a Patriots fan, and I understand what the hell they went through, bro."
Facts.
Yeah, they it honestly it don't bother me. People talk, oh man, I buy them paying for the rest. I mean, all right, whatever. I'm just happy that this happened for my team. I thought it never happened. I thought we was gonna suck all my life, and next thing you know, we get Andy Reid in there, start changing the culture, and this bad light skinned dude right here.
Yeah.
He do what he do, and next thing you know, our luck changed as fans, and I can say I'm a little bit spoiled now, but it's all good. So, but yeah, I thought I'd never see the day that I feel like a Patriots fan and had to deal with the shit they do, but here I am.
Yeah, big bro, you on the yacht. You ain't just in the boat. You in the yacht now.
Hey man, never had caviar, but that shit tastes delicious now.
I get used to it.
I can get used to this shit.
Like that. So let me run you off some of the people that I got with the TBL, man, and tell me if you say yay or nay to these guys. Of course, I got Patrick Mahomes, QB. Got David Aiken. Is this the young man name? Aiken, Devon Aiken, from Miami.
Oh, Divine A Chain. Oh yeah.
I would say it's wrong.
last year he actually was doing well fantasy wise, but couldn't stay on the field. He got banged up a couple of times.
Mm-hmm.
Um, he's definitely probably a one that you would probably put in your flex position every now and then. But he's most starts still he's going to get majority of the carries. You still got to run the football with him. You still got to get the football to Waddle and Hill. So he's at least sitting behind 3 to 4 other people ahead of him that's going to get the ball. But he was a home run hitter, and that was the only thing with A-Chain last year. That's what helped his fantasy stock, but he's not going to get the and I could be wrong. Mike McDaniel might feature him this year, so who knows? But he's the one that you probably got to keep an eye on. But once you start seeing the pattern that he's starting to get more touches, you definitely probably put him in your flex position real quick.
I like that. That's what I was thinking. He was trending upwards last year. You know, it was kind of unknown, but he put up those monster games, and I think the injuries, like you said, kept him. Um, but I'm risking. I like to do a little risk and reward with my fantasy football. Kept it in the crib with the next pick, Josh Jacobs, as my other running back. What you see over
Okay.
there?
Nah, Josh Jacobs is about to open up another level for the Packers offense, if you ask me. No disrespect to Aaron Jones. I'm an Aaron Jones fan, but couldn't stay on the field. And let's just be honest about it. So you definitely upgrade where it comes to production on the running end because Josh Jacobs, I can't remember how many times he's done it, but he's led the league in rushing.
Yeah, yeah,
And trust me, I'm glad he's out my division. Oof, thank
yeah,
you. He was he was the only rated that would give us hell.
yeah,
Clearly, he would give us hell every game that he played against us. He would give us hell. They would lose majority of those games, but it was always him that stood out. Hard runner, but by about fourth quarter, you making business decisions if you want to tackle this dude. Um, and low key, he's actually a solid pass catcher out the backfield too.
yeah,
And so, and the good thing for Packers fans, you should be happy about this. He's definitely a lot more durable than Aaron Jones. Trust me. So uh, you're going to get every penny worth that you paid him. He's going to be on the field, and man, talent at the ass. That's probably one of the running backs that you probably grab as soon as you can get him.
yeah, yeah. And I was shocked. I got him like the third round, fourth round, so he went kind of.
That's just kind of
Yeah, yeah. That's what I was surprised.
yeah, because
Uh,
he got second and first round fantasy upside to him that you better get him quick.
yeah, that's what I was thinking. Brandon Ayuk, the big money man, in my opinion, the best receiver in the Bay. What you think?
Yeah, I got no issue with that take. As much as I love Debo, they use him as a number one wide receiver, but if you really look at the tape, Brandon Ayuk is more polished with his route running and actual catching of the football. I just think he plays the position a little slightly better than Debo. Debo's more used as a Swiss Army knife. I actually like that. And of course, after you got paid, you got to prove that you earned it. So I think he led the 49ers in receiving last year. I wouldn't be shocked if he did it again this year.
I think he's going to definitely take a step forward this year
Mm-hmm.
to really make it known he here and he got paid. I got that young guy just went over to Houston, Stephon Diggs for my other receiver.
Mm-hmm.
I think I did pretty good in that one.
Yeah,
I think
Stephon is going to be a wild card, and the only reason why I say that is because Nico Collins just got paid in Houston, and he already has that rapport with CJ. Tank Dell is coming back, and of course, last year we saw that rapport he had with CJ. You bring in Joe Mixon. of course, Dalton Schultz, the tight end that they got there, that came over from the Cowboys.
Mhm.
So three of those guys already got a rapport built um, with CJ. And I don't know if anybody's paying attention to this. Houston basically told Stephon, said, yeah, we'll trade for you, but we're not giving you no new contract.
Mm.
And read between the lines. They say, boy, you do some Stephon Diggs shit like you do in Buffalo, like you did in Minnesota, we'll ship your ass out. And I think that's pretty much the message that the front office pretty much sent to him. Let Stephon Diggs start getting in CJ's face before that trade deadline.
It's a wrap. It's a wrap.
I'm letting y'all know right now. Houston went all in on both sides of the football, and as much talent as Stephon Diggs has, he's 30. You know what they do to you when you start hitting 30? Yo, talent better be worldly for you to act and do certain things. And hey, Stephon put up great numbers in Minnesota, put up great numbers in Buffalo. He's 30 and he's on his third team. There's going to be only so many chances left for him. And if he starts doing big stuff, just being honest, y'all, don't be surprised if they ship him up out of there and try to recruit those picks that they traded for him. So he's a wild card. Because the talent is there. It's just that is he going to be able to get the production with so many other guys that I just named that already got a rapport with him? And I don't know. I don't know if he eclipses 1,000 receiving yards this year. I just can't see it. Not with Texas.
Well, if I can, I trust C.J. Stroud more than I trust Stephon Diggs.
True.
And I think C.J. is, as young as he is, he seems. I've seen a couple of his podcast episodes with Micah. Seen a couple of his interviews. Seems to have a good head on his shoulders. Knows exactly what he wanted to do with the Houston Texans. So, unlike I'm not gonna say I don't watch Josh Allen as closely, but just from what I know of Josh Allen, he don't seem to have half the intangibles, I should call them, with that CJ Stroud has. So CJ may be able to ring them in, being a young guy that commands respect. Obviously, he got the key to Houston. So like you said, you run up in his face, you're gonna find yourself unemployed more than likely if you're a Stephon Diggs. But I'm trusting CJ on this one, and then that's really why I took Stephon. I'm like,
that's fair.
Anybody can get the job done outside of 15 in red. I believe in this young man.
Yeah, that's fair.
You starting to sitting Pat. I can't say the young man Freiermuth, the tight end.
Pat Fairmouth, tight end from Pittsburgh. He's your starting tight end. And to be honest, I think you got to start him because outside of George Pickens, you really don't have too many wide receiver threats on that Pittsburgh offense, or at least off. Just looking at the roster, I don't see too much jumping off that roster paper. Besides Fairmouth and George Pickens on the receiving end. Najee Harris still has to show something on the backfield in the running back room, but for the most part, yeah, I think you definitely start Fairmouth because Russell Wilson is the starter. And he's never been shy about making sure that the tight end gets the ball. He's one of those veteran quarterbacks that don't mind using their security blanket in the tight end that picks up those short passes when you can't get the ball downfield. So, yeah, I definitely think you start him.
Over now, I'm keeping it in the crib. Luke Musgrave.
Not too familiar with Luke Musgrave. What team he's on?
That's our tight end for the Packers.
Oh, for the Packers. Oh,
young man did some things last week, but we got 4 legit wide receivers competing for those 1 and 2 spots.
I was headed that direction, Tom. People are really underrating or not giving enough respect to that Packers wide receiver room. I think they're going to surprise a lot of people on how dangerous they can be. And they're kind of, what's favoring them? They're growing with Jordan Love because they all hit the field at the same time.
Right.
Um, so I think at some point in time we're going to be talking about the Packers wide receiver room. Like, damn, boy, they looking kind of nice. So that unfortunately leaves the tight end position kind of like he's there, but it's not like, you know, sorry, dog, you're not as pretty as his wide receivers that we got right now, dog. So uh it, and then you had Josh Jacobs to that.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I forget.
Yeah, I don't, because the thing about fantasy is you want to look at people that you know for a fact are going to get the targets and the carries and at a high volume, because that gives them a chance to rack up those fantasy points for you. And I just think that with the talent that the Packers got in that wide receiver room and Josh Jacobs in the backfield, pretty much I think Luke Musgrave might be at that point where he's pretty much you know a break the glass emergency type option. So
Yeah.
yeah, unless you start seeing his targets go up, you might have to throw his ass on the waiver wire, man. Yeah.
Always pick me up a few, in-house. Got to get a couple guys with the Packers. Josh Jacobs was a no-brainer, but by the time you start getting to the thick of things, I got Christian Watson too, but I'm gonna keep him on the bench for the first week.
That's tough. That's tough.
Well, here's the reason why though, big Brad. My flex, I got Devontae Smith.
Yeah.
See,
Yeah, but with Devontae Smith, he's going to get a nice amount of targets. The only problem is when you got a wide receiver room that's, and I think for the Packers, if they all are able to, mature it, and as I think they can, you're talking about 3, 4, maybe 5 wide receiver deep. Not everybody gonna get the pill, so
right,
that's hard to because I think we got the same issue in Kansas City. They're not going to rely on just one guy
right,
receiving wise to, you know, constantly be that guy. It's almost not committee, but you got 17 games, so you want to keep it guessing whose day is it going to be,
right.
So it might be Christian Watson's day, it might be Dobbs' day, might be a couple of other fellas' names who are escaping my memory right now, but um, yeah. So that's the only knock I got when you got more than one good wide receiver threat.
Yeah, which is always confusing because you got AJ Brown, Devontae Smith. It's like any one of them dudes can go crazy, on any given night. Um, and for the defense, big bro, I really need your expertise on this one. I'm torn between the Bears. Well, I pick up the Falcons as well. Which defense you start? And then, and the crazy part, they're both projected to get 10 points. So I usually go with the projection that if I can't as far as the flip of the coin, but I'm gonna trust your opinion on this one, big bro. Who you running with week 1? Also, let me throw this out. The Bears got the Tennessee Titans.
Mm,
Falcons got
Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh. Yeah.
Um. So here's the thing. I it's no disrespect to the Bears defense. I think they only got projected at 10 points just because there's a question mark on what type of offense this Tennessee offense is going to look like for the first time in some time without Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
And you're trying to figure out, how much DeAndre Hopkins got left. You know, Trey Burke. They picked up Tyler Boyd, so they got a couple of pieces, but it's still more unproven than anything with that Titans offense. So I think that projection for the Bears was just given off of not knowing what the hell you're going to get from the Titans.
Yeah.
Now, when it comes to the Falcons, that 10 is a respected 10 is because, man, I think I've been saying this for a couple of weeks now, since I had it on the late night hour show. I think the Falcons are definitely a sleeper team, and I had said that before they even picked up Justin Simmons, and they did that in the same week where they got Judon.
Right.
Um, you got Jesse Bates that was there that they acquired last year from Cincinnati. Was a great safety, played well for them last year. AJ Terrell, which is he's a dog at corner. He doesn't get the recognition because he plays for Atlanta.
Right.
And, but if you put your number one wide receiver on his side of the field, you better hope that he can at least eclipse 50 yards because it's about to be a tough day for their number one wide receiver. AJ Terrell's legit corner. He's a legit corner for real.
You know what college he went to? I'm trying
Uh,
to.
yeah, he went to Clemson with old Dabo.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then we can't forget Grady Jarrett is still in the middle. Another underrated D tackle. And then he gets Judon on his outside. That helps him. So you might see more one-on-one situations for Grady, and that's not good. So he's a damn good defensive tackle. So I actually like that Atlanta pickup for you. And the good thing that they're going against Pittsburgh is we just talked about Pittsburgh a second ago. If you pretty much shut down the run, keep Najee Harris in check, you don't have too many receiving options that really scare you or threaten you. So that bows into the favor for the Falcons. But I mean, if you to start week one, I really couldn't tell you which one to start one over the other. I can make a case for which one,
Yeah.
but me personally, I would probably put Atlanta's defense in there because I think they're gonna be nice this year.
Can't trust the bear for nothing, man. So I'm gonna run with that one. Can't trust him. I'm already cooking up some text for my pops. You know, he love those bears. He love crying. That's what this thing is. He can have it, old man.
That's wild.
And for my kicker, which ain't, I think you can just flip a coin on kickers, but I took Jake Moody from the Bay with the 49ers.
Oh yeah. He got a nice leg. He bombed one in the Super Bowl. That was a 50+ yarder. It was the longest kick field goal in Super Bowl history until my man Harrison Bucker topped him a few minutes later.
Yeah, same.
But yeah, no, now Moody's nice. The thing about kickers is I've always done this. If I can't get the best kicker, let me get the kicker that's going to be on the team that I know is going to, get past the 50, but not able to punch it in the red zone. A team that's going to stall a lot. And let me get their kicker because they're gonna be kicking a lot of field goals. So that's always been my strategy for kickers. So if you can't get the best, maybe you might as well. What's his name for Atlanta? Youngwan Koo. Or I probably butchered his name, but yeah, he's always been solid. So
yeah, I was looking at him for a kicker, but I don't know if I should trust Brock Purdy yet. Much as I do support the young man, I don't know if he's trustworthy yet. So I'll run with the Jake Moody.
Oh man.
Baby bro say he like his Cowboys. All we know. Yeah. My baby bro G, he a Cowboys fan. It's gonna be a tough year for y'all, brother. Y'all running back room looking crazy right now. I knew
did they end up signing Dalvin Cook?
they got Dalvin Cook. Yep.
Okay.
But
It helps a little bit. Yeah.
And it's just about what Dalvin got left, man. You know, I know he was having some struggles in Minnesota before he left, and then we didn't really get to see anything from him with the Jets.
Nah.
Did he end up going to another team?
Yeah, he ended up going to the Ravens, and
that's right.
He had a couple of good runs, but he really didn't do much when he got to the Ravens neither. So, I mean, I'm not gonna say Cook is cooked, No pun intended. But come on, man. You bring back Zeke, and you think that solves your problem?
Yeah. Man, I knew it was kind of ugly when they got him back. It's like, man, you don't break up with somebody and want to come back and live with me.
Dog, dog, if I spin the block, it's just for a moment. It ain't this dog.
Hey, say it again. This little memory, and I'm out of here.
Hey, boy, I remember when we used in the block.
Your mama still doing good.
Yeah. How your mama know? Hey, big head.
On me, man.
Hey, but I ain't staying for. Hey, this is a vacation. This is not permanent residency. Trust me.
Man, bro, he has intent to watch this year. We can't get
Hey,
nothing good in the red zone.
you might be the only sane Cowboys fan or realistic Cowboys fan that's really willing to admit that, because
It's gonna be tough, man. And just hope y'all, baby bro, you know what it is. You just hope don't run into my Packers, and y'all should be all right. Y'all should make yourself a NFC game if you can stay away from us and the 49ers, to be honest.
yeah. Well, see, the problem is with the Cowboys, I'm not worried about them regular season. They'll get double-digit wins.
Mm.
It's for some reason playoffs been our kryptonite for 30 plus years now.
Yeah, that's the crazy part.
Yeah.
You think who you got coming out of the NFC?
Um,
It's okay to say Packers, big bro. It's okay to say Packers.
Nah, I'm not ready to. I got love for the Packers. I think they definitely going to be they're definitely going to compete with Detroit for that division crown for sure. It's just that with the NFC, it's hard not to say San Fran, but at the same time, it's like we've been saying San Fran for the last 4 or 5 years, and so I brought this up earlier. I was on a podcast earlier with my folks at the barbershop, and I said this and it blew their mind. 49er fans, they're starting to look real cowboyish. I mean, you know how them Cowboys, oh man, we there, we gonna win it, and they ain't won since what, 94, 95?
It's been a minute.
Okay. You know what the team who won the Super Bowl before them and ain't won nothing since? San Francisco 49ers.
Yeah.
Y'all remember that? Dion went with the 49ers in 94, won the Super Bowl. Next year, 95, went with the Cowboys, won the Super Bowl. Neither one of them teams ain't won a Super Bowl since.
Crazy. You know what I like in the 49ers too? Bro, I don't know if, and this ain't exactly NFL, but I think of them, they're in that same kind of boat as the Boston Celtics, man. Just having a team, different moderations of a good team. You know what I mean? It ain't like Bowman and Willis is still here, and Vernon Davis, them guys is gone. But that was a Super Bowl ready team as well. Now you got a whole new slew of talent, and y'all still having the same kind of thing. I think though, this might be their year. I called it last year with Boston. I said if they don't do it this year, blow it up. Go ahead and get the nukes because there's no other explanation for it.
I feel you on that comparison. The only problem is you see right now San Francisco's paying everybody.
Yeah, getting the money from.
I'm not worried about that part. My thing is how they gonna be able to keep everybody? And because if you paying all your top stars and you put them in that certain price range, who the else can't afford nothing else?
Yeah.
Hey, what else are you gonna be able to put around them? Now, mind you, this is all this. So Brandon Ayuk just got his. Christian McCaffrey got a rework contract. Your boy Trent Williams just got his rework contract. Debo has 2 years left on the contract that he just got. So they're Purdy got to get paid soon. As a matter of fact, I think this is his last year. So once you pay him, Debo might be up out of there. He might be the odd man out, and he'll be closer to 30 by the time that contract expires. So I think this is the last couple of years we'll see Debo in the 49ers uniform. There might be a couple of other players that just might just have to just become cap casualties. Either that or you're going to have to literally go to John Lynch, the GM, and tell him, hey, bro, I will take less money to stay in the Super Bowl window with y'all. That's the only way you stay in.
Yeah.
You can't afford it, everybody else, especially when Brock Purdy, when he gets paid. Come on, man.
You know he getting market value. He been to a Super Bowl.
The market value is 55 now, bro. And that's Jordan Love.
Yeah.
It's 55. You know, like you said, this dude's been to a Super Bowl, 2 NFC championship games in a row.
Right.
If I'm him, I'm not entertaining nothing with a minimum ain't 57.
Yeah.
The minimum.
And that's if Dak don't go get 60 from somewhere else. You know, he ain't getting it from the Cowboys. He getting that 60 from somebody.
Yeah, no, that's getting I'm with you. That's getting another contract. I mean, you already heard me what I said. I don't think he's getting it from Dallas neither.
I stole your take on that, right, bro? I know everybody know. I cited my sources. Hey, check out Wild Card Mark. But when I heard you say it, I say, well, damn, 1 + 1 = 2.
Hey,
and that hug that him and Deion had, that long embrace that Jerry Jones and Deion Sanders had, they looked like they was making a deal right then and there.
Hey, I ain't never seen Jerry Jones love a black person more than he loved Deion. And if you really think he ain't quick to make a deal with Deion, come on now.
Deion might come over to the Cowboys with him.
I wouldn't be surprised if that happened either. I'm just saying, don't be surprised. You see a Shedeur Sanders in that Cowboys uniform, and you see Dak in another one. He's not getting paid from Jerry Jones. If Jerry Jones valued him, he'd already paid him. He gave CD his money. Michael Parsons wants his too. So does Dak. There's 3 guys that want paid. One of them got paid. There's only one more domino left to fall. They can't keep all 3 of them dogs. I just don't see it. I just don't see, because you can get, okay, so you just gave CD 33 a year. That's nice market value right there. Boom. You can get away with maybe another 30 with Micah, 29, 28 around there. All right. That still don't equal 60. That's getting 60 from somebody. So I can spend 60. That's fine if I spend 60, but I can get 2 dogs at 2 different positions that I absolutely need at wide receiver and at pass rusher, instead of just one guy at quarterback. When, come on, man, you saw me hugged up with prime time. I got my quarterback coming. I get him on a rookie contract. I don't have to pay $60 million. That's why I was looking at that when I made that take. I was looking at not just the future of what the cap hit that Dak is going to command, which is going to be crazy, 60 million plus, but also it's easy mathematics. I can get Michael Parsons, who's, they love him, and he's, he has the talent to be one of the top pass rushers in the league. I got CD Lamb. I can build the rest of the team. Bring in Shedeur on a rookie contract. I don't have to worry about paying him for a minimum of 5 years. I don't have to pay him for 5 years. I can keep building the rest of the team, and then I'll give him the money. But I don't have to pay him for 5 years. I can literally build a Super Bowl caliber team and have the 2 cornerstones on both sides of the football, CD Lamb on offense, Michael on defense. I'm just missing my quarterback. But I'm not going to sacrifice $60 million to do it. I don't have to.
And you know what? The cherry on top of all that, big bro. I think you said this. Either you said this. No, I think you said this. But you're gonna fill up them seats. AT&T Stadium gonna still be full because Shedeur is an exciting. He's a Sanders, you know, and Cowboy Nation loves him.
Not only that, Tom. We got to remember that Jerry Jones, as much as the most craziest shit comes out of his mouth, he'll play a fool, but he's not stupid. All right, he's not stupid. And the dude got his franchise valued at $10 billion. First North American guy to ever have his sports franchise, be valued at $10 billion. First a guy in North American sports history to make a revenue in 1 year with a sports team of $1 billion.
Nasty money.
That's not even including the actual NFL pot that gets shared at the end of the year. No, this is money that he's made off of his team by himself that he's not sharing with nobody else. Jerry Jones has made so many business moves despite the NFL, and told him to piss off. I'm gonna make my money. This is my team, and literally has brought in revenue that he's not sharing with no other 30 owners in the league. This is that $1 billion is going straight to his team, and that's because he's marketed so great. They can go 0-17. That stadium holds 100,000 plus. It's going to be full every damn Sunday. I'm telling you, because he despite the craziness that he is, he's not stupid. Like I said, the man turned the Cowboys into an internationally known team. You can go to any crevice of the damn world and they know about Dallas Cowboys. They may not know who might be playing or who's on the team, but they know about Dallas Cowboys. You can go anywhere. There's a jersey in probably every crevices of the damn world with a Cowboys jersey somewhere.
Bro, I'm in Idaho. You know how many damn Cowboys shirts?
Everywhere.
What are you doing with an Aikman shirt?
Everywhere.
They got fans. You know, it's even worse than your Lakers, man. It used to be the Lakers like that. Everywhere you went, you see a Lakers shirt now.
Yes.
House moms making TikTok videos in a Cowboy shirt. What the hell?
Hell going on here?
Baby bro say, I just got to say, last year's playoffs against Detroit was a fluke. It was against the Packers, man. The Packers. Y'all didn't play the Lions. I didn't get that far. We shouldn't have made it past them. What are you talking about? Am I referencing? You get the comment?
I'm just going to say last year playoffs against Detroit was a fluke. I think he's talking about the 49ers. We shouldn't have made it past them. We don't have that mid-90s grind.
Yeah, that's a fact. Everybody getting paid too much damn money. You give me 60 million, you give me 30 million. I ain't working out no more. Just showing up.
Hey man, I can't even lie, dog. Things change when you get that guaranteed money and you sign it and you get that signing bonus. Shit hit a little bit different, bro.
Yeah.
No.
I remember when I was in high school, young Jeezy had a line, and I used to love it. He was like, you know, cats get that first million and start doing the wildest things. And I was like, man, you put a couple millions in that mix, I'll probably lose my mind. I ain't gonna hold you, big bro.
Hey man, let's just say this. I'm glad NIL was not a thing when I was playing athletics in high school, bro. I'm glad it wasn't. Because you talking about make it what? Wait, I get it. Shit.
Yeah, come on with it, State Farm. I'm getting a commercial too. Yeah, it would have been some ignorant stuff going on. And you gave some guys in our generation some money. We was getting $20 and going crazy, let alone.
Excuse me, is you saying something? No, you can't tell me nothing. What?
Mom.
What?
Yo, man. And I was looking at that with Arch Manning. Like, dude, like number 2 behind Shador in the college football, I believe. And maybe might even be number 1, but Arch Manning is a backup quarterback. And comfortable,
bro. A backup, bro.
He ain't gotta ever take a hit. He rich already.
No, his NIL is just crazy, bro. He chilling, dog. It just threw his first TD the other day, but he chilling. Mm-hmm. And the only reason why he got in it is because that shit was garbage time. They was kicking the shit out of who they was playing.
Speaking about a little college football, big bro, and I'm gonna let you on out of here. I ain't trying to hold you up all night.
No, we good, dog. Hey man, we can talk about whatever the hell you want. I ain't got shit going on, bro.
Hey, same here, big bro. I love when we link. It's always a movie. But how'd you think about week 1 of this college football? I didn't get to. Now I'm gonna say this caveat, y'all. I don't know if y'all know, man, but DirecTV ain't doing right. You know, they wilding out. I don't have ESPN right now, so I did not get to catch the game last night.
Mm,
As of Sunday at like 4 o'clock, um, that's when the deal expired. No, it happened like 7, but the deal
it was
expired.
right before the game. Shit was right before the game.
And then,
Um,
so I didn't get to see the Florida State game. I heard they bombed again, but
ew.
yeah,
Hey, yeah, Florida State, bro. Ooh, oh man. You know, after the first loss to Georgia Tech, I was willing to give them the benefit of the doubt. Like, hey, man, you got time to still make your case to get into the 12-team playoff. No, that's just dead. That shit is dead, dead, dead. It's done. Only because you look at their schedule. I looked at it last night when I was on the late night hour show. I'm looking at least probably another minimum of 3 more losses, a minimum, and it might be more. Uh, Especially if they show up like they've been the last 2 games. I know DJU is going to take a lot of flack for the reason why they suck, and hey, he deserves it. I mean, you're talking about a quarterback who can't make throws. He's not accurate. All right.
no,
But here's the thing with DJU. Mike Norvell, that's kind of your fault. DJU has put enough tape out there between Clemson and Oregon State. What did he say to convince you to have him come to you? What what did he do? Does he have blackmail on you or something to convince you to bring him into Florida State? Because he's been a 52% completion quarterback. 52% is trash. It's been trash. He's not accurate at point blank. He's missing wide open guys. But I'm gonna give DJU a little slack, and here's why I think Florida State is cooked. Because it's not just him that's the problem. Wide receivers ain't been catching the footballs, and they are absolutely the times that DJU is accurate, they not helping him out.
yeah,
The times that he's actually been on time with the football, put it in a great placement. His tight end dropped at least 4 passes last night. Wide receivers couldn't catch a cold. So that's the problem. And here's another thing, man. That defense is cheeks. We got Georgia Tech and BC, Boston College, just running the ball up and down against that defense. So I know 2 games, it ain't looked pretty at the quarterback position. I 100% understand that. But if you are watching these games as a whole, Florida State is they're just not a good team.
yeah,
They got multiple issues besides DJU. But DJU is going to get a lot of the blame because he plays the important position. So, and he's not good. All right. And you can't, you know, be inaccurate at the quarterback position. 52% completion percentage.
yeah,
Come on, Mike Norvell. Wait, that was before he came to you in Tallahassee. What made you think that this guy was going to what? Well, you think you'd a goat quarterback whisperer or something? I don't know what the hell you was thinking. Just bring the guy in and thought it was shit was going to change. Him is him. That's been him over 4 years between 2 different schools. Yeah, Florida State. Yeah, they cooked. And what's bad about those 2 losses? They were conference opponents. So
yeah,
not only are you pretty much losing your traction in the college football playoff seating, you won't even be considered one of the better teams in your conference. You've already got 2 losses. You're in your conference already. So, and you look at that schedule. There's some other teams in there that's going to be crazy. So yeah, Florida State. Oh yeah. Get ready for whatever it wasn't. I hope how y'all basketball team looking. I better start scouting them.
Well, I was gonna say, what do you think Mike Norvell is on the hot seat?
Nah. Here's the reason why I think Mike Norvell is not on the hot seat. Yeah, it's not looking good right now. But here's my thing. We got to give Mike Norvell a little bit of grace. That man was a Jordan Travis injury away from being in the college football playoffs.
Yeah.
They went undefeated, won their conference in the last two games uh, of that situation of winning their ACC. They had to do it with their second and their third string quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Now I get it. They got smacked by Georgia in that bowl game, but can we still put everything into context? Once they found out they weren't playing in the college football playoff, every guy that was draft eligible and was going to get drafted, they said, "Fuck this, I'm opting out." So literally, he played with probably half of his talent gone. uh, and had Jordan Travis not got injured, had they got into the college football playoff, uh, had his half of his team not, opted out and got draft eligible, I think we're having a different conversation about Florida State. Um, but because of what happened at the end of the season last year, I think it's carrying over to this year and it's getting compounded with two piss poor performances. I mean, we just got to call it what it is. And obviously, there's going to be some chatter, but no, because we got to remember before Mike Norvell got there, Willie Taggart was there, kind of fizzled out, didn't do much. There was a couple of other coaches that just absolutely just didn't do shit for Florida State. And as we grew up, Florida State was one of the places you wanted to go to, and so they kind of lost a little bit of their luster. And I think Mike Norvell, I don't think he's brought it all the way back of that luster, but he's brought some of it back. I just think the result of last year's bowl game to Georgia and these first two games are leaving a bad sour taste in Florida State fans. But I don't think he deserves to lose his job or be threatened or at least be on the hot seat. But he does need to take accountability on. I still don't. DJ, bro, this motherfucker been a bum. I don't know what makes you think he was gonna be different in your uniform, bro. But whatever.
I just no luck in the portal, man. That's yeah, I feel bad for him as well, considering especially what they came off of last season. But speaking of a hot seat, big bro, I seen you active soon as LSU took that loss to USC. Brian Kelly. Now I'm still getting, I'm still finding navigating my way around college football. But what is this? Because I've been seeing LSU fans go crazy. LSU Twitter, they going crazy too. Like, get him out of here quick. What is it with Brian Kelly, man? Has he just been a perpetual failure? I know he's lost the last 3 openers, season.
Yeah, that doesn't help neither. Losing your openers, especially when my thing is with Brian Kelly is if you look at his track record, did well in Cincinnati, did well at Notre Dame, uh, uh, but he was dealing, he was getting double digit wins and all that, but you're not even in consideration of national championship status. Even when he would get into playoff situations, especially when he was at Notre Dame, he was getting smacked.
Yeah.
Uh, and I'll give him a little grace in this aspect. For him to get double digit wins at Notre Dame it's respectable because obviously Notre Dame has more stringent academic bylaws that they go by for their student athletes.
Yeah.
So that kind of limits, and I hate to say it, but it limits some of your talent pool that you're going to be able to get. They're not getting Tyrone or Nut that can, leap out the gym or, throw the ball like a flick of a wrist 80 yards. Because, unfortunately, his GPA won't be there. He academically he'll be ineligible to play for Notre Dame. LSU, they don't have as much stringent restrictions on the academic for their athletes like a Notre Dame. So now he's more open to recruiting more guys that may not have the academic prowess, but these boys can leap out the gym, or they could throw the ball 80 yards, or they as fast as a hiccup. Here's the issue. He's been at LSU, I think, 2 or 3 years now.
Mm-hmm.
He's a top 5 recruiting class every year. What's your excuse?
Mm.
You, you can't feed your LSU congregation that you are a national championship contender when the results don't match up with the talent that you got. Because you're a top 5, you're a top 5 recruiting class year in and year out. There hasn't been a drop off with the talent pool that is available for LSU. They're still going to LSU.
Mm-hmm.
And you're not. So I give him credit for taking accountability. He says, I need to do better as a coach. He recognizes that he does have to do better. Because, I know he was mad and slamming on the table and shit. And that's all cute and all. But, bro, like, what atmosphere are you building? What accountability are you having? You got young Bull doing the shotgun, cost him a 15-yard penalty.
Sure.
That's coaching,
Mm-hmm.
because he's probably done something silly like that because he wasn't told that that's not acceptable in your program.
Mm-hmm.
There's more that goes to X's and O's when you got 18, 17, 19, and 20-year-olds. There's a form. Hell, I barely got it together at 37. So, mentally, those are still young boys, young men.
Yeah.
I mean, they're still young men mentally, still young men. There's still a young part of them still involved mentally. So you still got to develop the game side, and you still got to be disciplinarian, father figure, mentor at the same time. I don't know how he's doing in that department, but when you see how the behavior of some of the players, you see how is the talent isn't matching up on paper on the field. It's some of that has to do with coaching. I mean, you've been around football enough. I've been around football enough. Coaching does matter, and if you're not cultivating talent and molding it, you just got talent. But talent can only take you so far. That's why he's not winning. I don't think he's cultivating the atmosphere and accountability enough. And that falls on him. That falls on him. And you can't keep coming up short and can't, because they're not even winning the SEC. Damn a national championship. They not even winning that. And you got top 5 recruiting class. That's why him and Ryan Day in the same boat.
Mm.
They in the same boat. Ryan Day. So LSU has a top 5 recruiting class damn near every year. Ryan Day has the number 1 best recruiting class year in and year out. He can't beat Michigan. He can't even win the Big Ten.
That's a fact.
So is he on the hot seat too? So him and Ryan Day are on the same situation where you can't sell your congregation on that we are a national championship caliber team, and you are by paper, by talent wise, by recruiting class, and it's not adding up to nothing. So yeah, Brian Kelly got to get his shit together, because LSU fans, they love they buy you Tigers. They are not going to sit back and let you be the highest paid state employee in Louisiana, when half the damn state is broke as shit, and you can't even win no damn conference at that. You ain't even winning the SEC. So yeah, they ain't gonna sit around for that shit too much longer.
You got to at least win the SEC. The SEC is personal.
Yeah, telling you, man.
Speaking of, Vanderbilt had to hold, Big Vandy had to hold it down. And I meant to say this when we were covering who that is, the FSU. The one thing they probably do have going in their favor is Clemson lost, Virginia Tech lost, all of the teams that you think would be in contention for the ACC, they
Yeah,
taking the L's too. So,
yeah.
what you think about Big Vandy, man? That kid, Diego Pavia, I think his name is.
Yeah. No, I did not see that from Vanderbilt. I think that actually says more about Virginia Tech and where that program's at. I mean, man, we a long way from Virginia Tech being one of those scary, spooky teams that you saw every Saturday. They come a long way for that. And it's kind of treading the wrong way. But no, shout out to Vandy, man. I don't know if that'll be indicative of their season. Obviously, we got to, obviously being week one, we still got to see much more. But hey, I didn't expect them to beat Virginia Tech. So off to a good start. Can they maintain it, especially when you start getting into that SEC conference play? I don't know. That's kind of hard because they've been SEC's doormat for the last few years. So it's kind of hard to say if they'll be able to maintain it.
That's why I like to do a little capping. That's why I love football, because you can cap for a couple, 4, 5, 6 days. So they big Vandy this week. All right. Just for this week. We'll see what happens next week.
Big Vandy, that's wild, bro.
Yeah, I was I forget. I didn't even make that up. I seen somebody say it on Twitter. And I was like, yeah, I'm taking that one. That's me. Big Vandy. But
Big
yeah,
Vandy.
outside of that though, we rose any college games, programs, players that you really that impressed you this year?
Man, the most disrespectful shit I saw this weekend. The Miami Hurricanes went down and blew the damn doors off them Gators. And they got real disrespectful. Not only by the scoreboard, but the Florida Gators had some recruits in the stands, front row. The Miami Hurricanes looked at them recruits and said, "Boy, don't y'all go here. You don't want to go."
We run Florida.
Bruh. It's one thing to get your ass kicked, but then you got the opposing team who just 60 minutes obliterated you, told these recruits who you are trying to get to come to your school to make you better, and just said, "You don't want to be here, bro.
Man,
you don't want to go here." That was so wild. I'm not going to say if Miami's back all the way. Very impressive ass kicking for sure. I can't even remember the last time we saw that rivalry of Miami and Florida, because Florida had took Miami off their schedule for a minute.
yeah.
But no, shout out to that game happening again. That was some nostalgic feel. But I'm not ready to say Miami's full tilt all the way back, but they definitely did the damn thing. Man, I gotta give Marcus Freeman and Notre Dame their fucking credit, bro. That defense was looking. I mean, I don't know if Texas A&M really ain't like that on offense. They did struggle to move the football, but it's Marcus Freeman had to deal with the same thing that Brian Kelly had to do with the tough academic, regulations that they got at Notre Dame, and it ain't bothering him. He's been doing well at Notre Dame, but I was really impressed with that defense for sure. Notre Dame, they did the damn thing, man. They killed it. It's just, I don't know if they'll be able to. They got Leonard that came from Duke, the quarterback who was solid for Duke last year. So we'll see what they are able to do offensively. They damn sure can run the football. They weren't scared to do that. And Leonard's kind of a dual threat running back. And he's not scared to run the field. I just wonder if Marcus Freeman calls on him to win the football game with his arm, if he can deliver that. I think that's the only question mark I got about them. But yeah, Notre Dame looked pretty impressive. So I mean, I think it's going to be a crazy college football season. Not because we got the new college football playoff situation going on with 12 teams. I'm looking at those at-large bids because once those conference bids get swallowed up, I'm looking at those at-large bids. Like, it's gonna be crazy to do all that jockeying. They're damn sure going to be some one-loss teams getting in. But how far are they willing to take it? Like, there's 2 losses automatically, eliminate you. I know for sure 3 should, but now you're in that conversation now where if we put together a nice resume enough, 2 losses may not put us out. Unfortunately for Florida State, y'all could, but I ain't talking about y'all.
This ain't for y'all.
Yeah, this ain't for y'all.
We got hope. Nah, no, you don't.
Nah. Take that hope and throw that shit in the trash, bro.
I am happy you said that, big bro, because I was really doing the math. I started thinking about it. Like, we just tripled, the eligibility for a championship team. So of course we know the conference guys. The first 5 gonna get in. The next 4 will probably be the 1 win, 2 wins. But like you say, when you get down to that 10th seed, 11th seed, because this is, I'm pretty sure the 8th, 9th seed will have to be a 2-loss team at least.
Yeah.
Like, 10th team, you're gonna have to have a 3-4 loss kind of season. So,
yeah, that's hard, man. That's hard to say, man, because it's like, obviously, if you're a conference winner, you want to take care of business and still be undefeated. I just think so as your conference winner. Then you look at the teams like, say, Ohio State, who keeps losing to Michigan. And I can't play in the Big Ten championship game because it's down to that game between us and Michigan, and we lost the last 3 years. So they're looking like a 1-loss team. So that's when teams like that need to make sure that they handle business leading up to the winner take all game at the end of the season, because that's what's been determining Ohio State's fate. Losing to Michigan on the last game of the regular season. So that automatically puts you out of getting to a Big Ten conference championship game. So you're not going to win your conference. It hasn't won the last 3 years because of that game. Clemson, who already has 1 loss, good for them that they actually got a defense. That defense kept them in the game for as long as they could against Georgia. And that defense was pretty solid, stood up for them. They got no offense, though. If you can't score, you know what that is.
Dabo don't like Dabo said he don't like the portal, man. Like, you got to get with the times, baby. Either do that or you got to do the Nick Saban thing and bow out. Like,
bro, I said the same fucking thing last night because I'm looking at Dabo. And as much as you hate the portal, you hate NIL, cool. But bruh, his way worked from 2009 when he first got the job to 2018. It worked. Because it wasn't quite a NIL transfer portal type scene yet, really popping like that. For transfer portal was already there, but they had different rules and regulations for it.
Right.
And he was able to his formula work. Got 2 national championships. Beat Nick Saban.
Yeah.
Got big money. Like, Dabo Swinney has gotten. You talking about a guy that's making a damn good money. One of the highest paid coaches in college football. Probably the highest paid state employee in the state of South Carolina. Another state that's poor as shit, where half the people is broke as fuck, but he ain't hurting. And the last 6 years, you ain't looking like this ain't Clemson, because you refuse to change with the times. And to be honest, just like you said, Nick Saban didn't want to change with the times. He bowed out. Coach K, Mike Krzyzewski, couldn't get with the times of the one and done in an NIL in college basketball. Roy Williams, My man in Syracuse.
Damn,
I know.
I gotta Google it.
Jim Boeheim.
Yep. Soon as you said it.
Their formula wasn't going to work. They knew it wasn't going to survive. They bow out. So it's been 6 years removed from your last national championship. You got your doors blown off by that 2019 LSU team. You haven't come nowhere close to sniffing a national championship since. Eventually, you either bow out because you're refusing to get with the times. Like, you absolutely hate NIL on transfer portal. Matter of fact, he's been one of the coaches at the forefront of being so against it, very vocal against it, always changing the game. I don't like it. It's about the money. Yeah, but you forget, if we pull up, you are a state employee. We can look up what your salary is, pimp. You ain't hurting.
Right.
So why you mad at how the game is being played? If you don't like it, why don't you take your high dollar ass and go sit down? Because you fine. You fine financially. So it's either get with the times or go sit down. But come on, Dabo. Hey, dog. You know, hey, my 70-year-old grandfather has gotten with the times. This man think he all tech savvy more than me. You know?
I mean, yeah, phone.
My grandfather, he was born before the TV was even invented. So, like, you know, now he all slinged up, know how to hit the smart TV, and you know, he got with the times.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's like, dog, is evolution. You either you know, learn how to survive. And the only thing that's really saving his job is he'll put up 10, 11 wins.
Right.
Because he's in ACC. But eventually that shit's gonna run out because they're gonna keep looking at you like, bro. Yeah, them 2 national championships you brought, they still look good in the trophy case, but it's been 6, 7, 8, 9 years, and they keep counting and they collecting dust, bro. So, you know, I don't think and he's been there since 09. So, you know, if you look at the grand scheme of things, you've been there for a hot minute. And I know them national championships can hold some weight, but you already know how this shit goes. What have you done for me lately? So
I'm happy you worded it the way you did, bro, because I used to do a little mentoring for my high school, and I used to tell the shorties, like, look, bro, you adapt or you die. You know what I mean? Whatever you was doing in the park, whatever you was doing in grammar school, this is, well, you know, when you came into high school ball, you gotta market that like it's the highest level. I'm like, hey, this is where the dogs is. So you adapt to what coach talking about because he knows. You gotta just assume coach know best. But I think Dabo Swinney is in that weird space, man, and I kind of feel for him, you know, because at this point, the whole Clemson program is suffering. You know what I mean? You're not willing to.
No doubt. Yeah, they got to get right. It starts from here, man. How can you be that stubborn that you refuse to just not even? Everybody else is just going to improve around you, and you ain't going. Whatever, man.
Well, you know how it go for some people, big bro. You know, some people find something that works and they just ride that until the wheels fall off. Kind of like, you know, if we could just make it a little simpler, the cats that be on, you might play a game of Madden with them. They find that one play, you know, they just spam circle or whatever you're gonna do. But at the same time, it's like, you know, that works. I guess that works sometimes because this is life, you know what I mean? But looking at what's going on now and looking how these kids are moving and how they moving around to get their bags, and Dylan Gabriel, you know, that man just went from a winning program. Oh, you ain't no punks. Now he over in Oregon, you know, so he trying to put himself in a better position. It's just,
yeah.
If Dabo Swinney is an assistant coach, coordinator in the NFL soon, we know why. We'll know why.
Nah. He ain't gonna make it to that level. Because he's gonna look at what they make salary wise. Yeah, man. I used to make this in 3 weeks at Clemson. Nah, bro, I can't do this, dog. I can't be no coordinator, fam. I guess So I'm gonna go retire and just hit the golf course and shit.
Nick Saban look like he having fun. He don't like he stressing.
Nah. He getting Disney money. Of course he ain't stressing. Disney money different, bro. So,
But I'm just gonna cut out, big bro. Do a little bit of work. We gotta get back on the channel, man. I really would like to get a podcast going. I know you got a lot going on, big bro. Put me in the rotation, man. Put me in the
no
rotation.
doubt, man. Nah, we just gotta find the right time to do it with my crazy ass schedule. We'll make something shake, bro. No worries, man. So I gotta start writing down my actual schedule.
Yeah.
Oh man, for real, man.
Well, let everybody know, big bro, where they can find you. All 9 of your podcasts.
Shit, 9 might be the slight work, bro. No, but hey
9
man, I know, right? Nah, man, y'all can chop it up with me personally. Just going over right here to my Twitter page right there, KC Wildcard Moore. That's where I be posting all my content. You can definitely catch me at the home podcast, ILW Sports Network. Of course, shout out to my guys, D Man Cave Sports Podcast, 613 Fade Productions. I'll be doing a lot of content with my boys over there. But so like, share, subscribe to all the places that I be at. But just make it easy on yourself. Just go right here to my Twitter page. Like I said, I'll be posting everything over there. So just go on over there, Casey Wildcard Moore. Always a pleasure to chop it up with my bro Tone, man. So always a movie, bro. Always.
Thanks, big bro. And I definitely appreciate y'all. Make sure you definitely swing by Big Bro channel. Y'all think I post a lot. God damn it, this is what I'm learning from. Hey, you know, my mom's be like, hey, well, you know, I got 19 notifications. I wouldn't mute me. It ain't stopping. Why you posting so much?
Hey, my thing is you either eventually gonna cave in and watch my shit, or you just gonna mute me. But I'm not gonna stop posting. So, it probably just benefit. Hey man, here's one thing I want y'all to understand: when if y'all are friends, y'all are family. Yeah, we want y'all to watch our content. Well, we know what we do. You really know what we need from y'all? Just hit like, hit share. That's it. Hit like, hit share. And that does so much for us. If you just hit those 2 buttons, that like button, hit that share button. That's all we ask for y'all. That's it. That's it. Support free, y'all. It's free.
Hey, big head again, bro. Just one finger. You know what I mean? We ain't asking y'all to build no house.
click. 2 clicks. It's real quick. Like, share. Boom. That's it.
Keep up the good work, big bro. Definitely following in your footsteps. And thanks everybody for pulling up tonight. Once again, Miss Dom. Make sure y'all swing by Sports T as well. She's always doing great work. Man Down Sports, big bro Mel pulled up. Baby bro G, thank you for coming through. Oh, my brother Goons is never he late, but he always gonna pull up, man. I love him, my boy.
And Goons.
Faithful, I love him. But that's the show, man. Make sure y'all like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Leave your thoughts and opinions in the comment section. Thanks y'all for pulling up. Peace.